Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with what ought to be a really extraordinary disc, but which turned out not to be for various reasons, which we will go into shortly. It is this Boston Modern Orchestra project disc of the three William Schuman, Martha Graham collaborations, which sounds very enticing. After all, Martha Graham was the inspiration behind Appalachian Spring and Barber's Medea. I've been listening to a lot of this music lately, just for fun, and I want to talk about it with you. Now, these three works are Judith, choreographic poem, Night Journey, and The Witch of Endor. Yeah, so there she is, The Witch of Endor. Looks very cool, doesn't it? Anyway, they date from between 1947 and 1965. They are all very, very dark. Judith is the story of Judith and Holofernes. You know that. She seduces the Assyrian general and then beheads him, or she impales him on a tent peg or something like that. It's just delicious. Maybe that's Deborah. I don't know. One of those things. But Judith beheads Holofernes. That we need to know. I think it was a very cool Gustav Klimt painting, maybe something like that. Or was that Salome with John the Baptist? I don't know. There are lots of biblical beheadings. I mean, these women were really tough in the Bible. Yes. So anyway, there's that. Then there's Night Journey. Night Journey was actually the first of these ballets. They're like 20 minutes long each, except for The Witch of Endor, which is like 40 minutes. It's quite long. Let me see this. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So Night Journey is the story of Oedipus as told from the point of view of Jocasta, who of course commits suicide at the end. That's not a happy story either. That's pretty dismal. And then we have The Witch of Endor. Well, we all know the story of The Witch of Endor, right? King Saul, or one of those people, or Solomon, or one of those guys. No, it's Saul, right? Yeah, Saul and David. Saul has forbidden enchantresses to run around, but he's nervous, so he makes an exception for the Witch of Endor, and she prophesies raises the spirit of what's his name, the prophet who prophesies his death, and he's very upset about it. So she makes them dinner, which any good Jewish boy will tell you is a good way to deal with prophecies of death. So she makes them dinner, and they all have dinner, and then they all get killed, and Saul commits suicide the next day. So that's The Witch of Endor. I mean, they're not jolly pieces. They truly are not. But more to the point, and the reason I have sort of mixed feelings about this stuff is the music. The music. William Schuman, he is the king of American Drab. His music is so colorless and harmonically monochrome. Oh my God. I mean, supposedly the more radical of these pieces is The Witch of Endor, which has no major triads in it at all. But none of these pieces do. I mean, they really do. It's not that you need major triads. You don't need major triads. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of 8-tonal or 12-tone or serial music. I just don't like music which is not. And this is music which is not. In other words, it's not really melodic. It's not really tonal. It's not really colorful. It's just not. And the not school kind of bugs me. And for that reason, Schumann's music bugs me. It seems to be so dry and gray and mechanical. In Judith, there's a section where, his style is somewhat predictable. I'll have these long kind of amelodic lines and long notes going, and against that, he'll have some sort of hideously syncopated, complicated, herky-jerky motion. And that can go on for minutes at a time. And however well the Boston Modern Orchestra project plays these things, and they do a yeoman's work in realizing them. The violins have some real issues. About 6 minutes into Judith, it's like impossible. And the rest of it is just gloom and murk, and there's Schumann's hieratic way of scoring. It's like all the strings, then all the brass, then all the woodwinds, then, and it's dreary. It's dreary, monochrome. I mean, the word is drab. And to listen to all three of these 80 minutes of this stuff at once, oh my God, it's such a punishment. It really, really is. Now, I know there are people here who enjoy this guy. We've had that discussion when we talked about his symphonies, also, which I also find extremely academic and uninspired. Technically, he had gifts. He was well trained, but he didn't have ideas. Musically interesting, attractive, powerful ideas. I mean, he's just going through the motions, at least in my view. Now, he felt he wasn't, of course. He was a sincere artist, a dedicated artist. There's nothing wrong with the intent. It's just that the result is so completely uninteresting and dismal. So, well, if you like dismal, and Martha Graham, Martha, she's an icon. So these are important. They really are. They're important collaborations. Having all three of them together on a disc was a dream of William Schuman. Apparently, she was over 70 when she commissioned The Witch of Endor. And, the deal was she wasn't supposed to dance it, but she did. And the results weren't too happy, as you might expect, which led to the ballet being ignored. But I don't really think that's the issue. I think the reason these ballets don't get played is because they're just not enjoyable to listen to. I mean, on any level. And the style is like I said, it's the not style. I mean, Schumann just desperately needs a tune. He needs an idea. He needs something that's really going to reach out and grab you and make you want to listen forward. I mean, he's got the rhythm. He's got the pacing. It's not like he doesn't get the shape of them, that they're set up in a formally dysfunctional way. It's none of that stuff. It's just that the music's harmonic and melodic style is resolutely drab. And that's the word. So if you like drabness, drabosity, drabaliciousness, drabitude, however you want to say it, this is your deal. And I hate to say it because I love these people and I love what they do. And, I realize the historical importance of it all, but boy, I don't want to listen to this again. It's up to you if you want to. So keep on listening, friends. Maybe even to this. I don't know. It's not up to me. Take care.